Welcome. Today's October 16th, 2020, and this quick video is going to be all about the new moon and setting your intentions for the new moon during these very turbulent and crazy times. I've heard from several different people how they felt very off balance and very just filled with anxiety because everything in the world seems so chaotic right now. I can relate. I've been going through the same thing. And astrology can really shed a light on what's going on and how we can deal with it better in our lives and to integrate all the energy for the best outcome. Not just for ourselves, but for everyone. New moons are all about new beginnings. It's the start of a new lunar cycle. So it's a great time to set new intentions, to set new wishes, to start new projects. But this is a pretty crazy time right now, and so there's some confusion over what should we really be looking for? What intentions should we be setting for ourselves right now? The moon is all about our emotions, our moods, and our unconscious mind. The sun is all about consciousness, our personality, and our ego. These two are in close proximity to one another and right now are very much aligned. And they're aligned in Libra, a sign that likes balance and harmony and peace. This doesn't fit very much with what's going on in the outside world. And we're going to take a look at why that is. First, we have Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in close proximity. And while Jupiter is fairly close to Pluto, it's not very close to Saturn here. So we're going to focus on the two most powerful parts of this aspect, which is Pluto and Saturn and the square that they're making to the sun and moon. So Pluto is a really interesting planet. It's very slow moving, and it's all about power and transformation, death and rebirth, upheaval and chaos. When you look at the energy of Pluto, you can see how this would play a role in 2020. Everything has been turned upside down. You can see this in everything from coronavirus to the political climate that we're experiencing, to the protests that we're seeing in the streets and social inequity. It's a time of great upheaval. It is important to remember that Pluto is not about death and destruction for the sake of death and destruction, but it's death and destruction for the sake of rebirth and transformation and creating something new out of it. Pluto is the phoenix rising from the ashes. But before you can build a new house, you first have to tear down the old one. And this does not sit well with our need for comfort and security. So Pluto energy can feel overwhelming. It can put us off balance. It can make us feel very much out of control. When you combine that with Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of responsibility and restriction. It's a harsh taskmaster. Saturn often comes into our lives as a teacher. We need to first learn the lessons of Saturn before we can then go on to experience success. Saturn is often very prominent in the lives of successful people. And you often hear them tell the same story about how they went through extreme struggles before they became an overnight success. That's the energy of Saturn. So when you combine that with Pluto, that's some really powerful energy that can feel very overwhelming. And this square in Mars can be harsh, particularly because Mars is in Aries. So you take that aggression, you take that action and drive, and you put it in forceful, domineering, aggressive, self-centered Aries. And you can see that this is a time where people are not really coming together in peace and harmony and gentleness and kindness. The energy is coming forth as very aggressive and forceful and domineering and even destructive. This Mars is directly opposite our sun and moon. So the sun and moon being the ego and our personality and also our emotions, these are at direct odds with one another, making us feel very off balance, bringing out a sense of anger and frustration. And when you combine all three of these, where we have an opposition and these two squares, and you can see how this is a time of great upheaval. It's a time where we feel very unbalanced, not knowing what to do or how everything is going to work out. A friend was texting me and telling me about how she had been watching the news for 3 days straight and how she just felt so anxious and angry and she just wanted to throw things. But this time is also an opportunity to learn how we can cope with this difficult time. And the new moon is the perfect opportunity to do that. Because this new moon is in the peace and balance loving sign in Libra. Our challenge is to balance out this transformational death and rebirth period with this very aggressive, domineering, forceful energy. And we can bring that into peace and balance in our lives. There has to be compromise here. We have to look at a way to realize what's going on in the world here, but not being a part of it every single second of the day. So yes, you need to know what's going on in the world. Yes, you should watch the news, but turn it on for 5 or 10 minutes. Don't leave it on all day long. And balance that with the need for harmony by meditating, going and taking a bubble bath, really practicing some self-care within yourself. So you're taking these energies and you're bringing them into balance. So while we have this very determined, driven Capricorn, Pluto energy of radical change, of death and rebirth and transformation, it's forcing you to look at yourself and see, where do I need change in my life? It's also making you feel very much out of control. And maybe this is a time to relinquish a little bit of that control and to trust that the universe will unfold exactly what you need to know in the right time. So during this time of upheaval and great change in our society, today's new moon is a time for you to set an intention for the next couple weeks. Light some candles, do a meditation, and set your intentions for peace and balance and positive change, positive wisdom and understanding of what's going on in the world for the benefit of all. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on how you're coping with this crazy time and what you're doing for your new moon energy. Kathy Kirsten has her own take on the astrological aspects that are going on right now during this new moon, and you can hear her talk on metaphysicalcenter.org. Have a great day and take care.